got a chance to see Captain America Brave New World. Let's talk about it right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to be talking about Captain America, Brave New World. Well, before we do, remember to give me that like, give me that thumbs up if you can, and if you can subscribe to the channel, please do. I release videos pretty much every day, as long as I'm not on set. Yeah, I got a conference call tomorrow, so we'll see what happens there with the project. And yeah, I just got a writing gig. I'm going to be writing a little horror movie. Started on that today. Pretty fun. But yeah, so also remember too that I am connected with Moonstone Books. They are releasing a 90th anniversary Green Hornet anthology. It's going to be a hardcover book and with stories by Timothy Zahn, who created Thrawn for Star Wars, Kevin J. Anderson, who writes for Dune, Bill Willingham, with cover art by Batman and Grendel artist Matt Wagner, interior art by Dennis Calero from Marvel. It's just going to be amazing. There's so many talented people involved. We are fully funded on Kickstarter already. We got funded in the first week, of course. We're only $1,000 away from unlocking our first stretch goal. So go to greenhornetnoir.com or click the link in the description below and you'll jump right in there. All right, it's a perfect time to get in right now. So we can start unlocking stretch goals, get that free stuff. All right, so let's talk about Captain America, Brave New World. As you know, I am a comic writer, so I am connected with the comic industry. So I've been following Sam Wilson for a long time. In fact, he was one of my first action figures I had as a kid with Falcon. Of course, that was like he had the headband and he had the wings that were just under his arms. And he had this 70s all-open tunic. So he looked a lot different. But I thought he and Captain America, I always bought the comics with him and Captain America in it. I always thought they complemented each other very, very well. And so even as a kid. And then when I saw him in, Winter Soldier, I was like so excited that Falcon was finally getting a live-action version, and I thought that Mackie did a good job. I liked some of the changes they made with him when they gave him the dual pistols and all this stuff, dual machine guns. I liked a lot of what they did with him, where he was able to use the wings to use them as shields and stuff like that. I thought that was all really cool. And then they... Even in the comics, they decided to make him Captain America. And that was after Bucky. So they made Bucky Captain America first. And, of course, that was short-lived, like it normally is. Whenever they kind of pass the mantle, because the character is... Steve Rogers is Captain America. It's just the way it is. And it's the way it'll always be. Just like Bruce Wayne is Batman. No matter how many times you do different Batman mantle swaps, it's always going to come back to Bruce Wayne. And the same thing with Captain America. Captain America cannot exist without Steve Rogers. It's just, they try it and it doesn't exist. So Bucky was Captain America when Captain America was killed. And then, of course, he got the mantle back. And then he became Winter Soldier again. But for some reason, they threw Sam Wilson into this, and they kept him that way, even recently, of course, because they had the movie coming out, so it's there, of course, recently, but where they have two Captain America books simultaneously, which makes no sense, and Marvel's doing this multiple times. Marvel has Elektra as Daredevil, and when she should have her own identity at this point. So, but it's just not. It's just not. Elektra is going to be Elektra. Daredevil is going to be Daredevil. No matter what title you put in the comic book. And it just doesn't work. It doesn't sell. And Sam Wilson just does not sell as Captain America. They keep it alive on life support, kind of like Miss Marvel. But even now, Miss Marvel doesn't have her own book anymore. Because they kept drawing that in life support, and now they threw it on the screen and it didn't work. So now she doesn't even have her own book anymore. And that's how I see this happening. They threw it out there. It's just not going to work. Unless this movie makes over $1 billion, I just don't see them doing it. Because really, he has the wings, right? They just threw a shield on him. That is stupid. Why would you have a shield on a thing where he can have the wings be the shield? It doesn't make any sense. He's basically Falcon. He's still Falcon. They just threw the Captain America name on him and gave him a shield. It's unneeded. It's unnecessary. It takes away his identity as Falcon. So, and then they did Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I thought that the first episode was good, and then it just went, it just died. It just died. It became so awful. And the best thing that came out of that was U.S. Agent. That was the best thing that came out of that. Otherwise, it was a bad show. And I think everybody agrees with the fact that it was a bad show. So here's the mentality for bringing on this film. Okay? So Marvel's like, yes! We got this thing! Woohoo! Let's do it, baby! So they said, we have a failed TV show. Let's make a movie based on that failed TV show, and we'll even do it as a sequel to the failed Hulk movie. Wouldn't that be awesome? We'll do a sequel to 2 failed projects. Isn't that amazing? And then we'll bring on a director who's never directed anything in this budget range. Isn't that amazing? Check out this guy's IMDb. I'm going to put his IMDb up on here, okay? You're going to see short, and then he's got 2 features. None of it to this budget range. So he has barely any credits. And you're going to give him $300 million to play with? Of course, they're saying it's $180 million, but it's been redone 4 times. There's no way this budget is $180 million. But let's say it is. Let's say this budget is $200 million. And then they put another $100 million in there for print and advertising. So now we're at $300 million. So this movie needs to make $600 to $650 million just to break even, based on that incorrect number, which Disney's trying to push because they don't want to show that this movie fails. It's kind of like what The Rock did with the Black Adam to show that he didn't lose a lot of money when he did. This movie needs $1 billion to break even. $800 to $1 billion. It's just the way it is. I mean, they can blow smoke all they want. But anyway, so then they hire 3 writers, 2 of them from the failed Winter Soldier, Falcon Winter Soldier show. So they brought on 2 writers from that. So let's make a failed show with the writers, and it will make a failed movie? I don't understand what they were thinking. And then the other guy was the guy that wrote the Princess and the Frog and Treasure Planet. And they're trying to do an international intrigue movie? Why would they not hire somebody that did like 24, something to that effect, that has done... I mean, you also have Carl Lumbly in there from Alias. So you bring on somebody that did Alias. That would make far more sense if you're trying to do an international intrigue type movie, which this is not, by the way. So I've read a bunch of the reviews. I've watched, things and people saying, "Oh, the MCU is back, baby! It is back!" I cannot disagree enough. This is a poor film. The script is poor. The writing is poor. Everything about the structure of this film is poor. In fact, in the middle of the film, I fell asleep. It just got so boring. It was crazy. The plot is just nonsensical. Completely nonsensical. And the actors try. believe me, they try. And you have Harrison Ford. He could have phoned it in, and he didn't. I say that he tried. He probably did one of the best performance. And Anthony Mackie, as much as I like him, he is not a leading man. He will never be a leading man. He tried to do that show on, was it Netflix, where it was a follow-up of the futuristic thing, like Altered Carbon. And the show was horrible in relation to the first season. Horrible. And to the point where it died. There was no third season because the second season was so bad. He is best when he has a partner. When he has a scene partner, he shines. He's able to banter. That's where you got to play to your actors. You already knew that he was going to play the role, so your writer should have gone in there and played to his strength. They tried to give him, this Danny Ramirez guy, and as a partner, but they only had a few scenes together. Mostly he was alone, and that's why they should have made this a Bucky and Sam movie. That would be the only way that this was going to work, because the best scene in the film is when Bucky and Sam are in that one scene where they're talking. There's so much chemistry between them that it's wasted on that one scene. Just wasted. I don't know what they were thinking. Because even when he did Twisted Metal, the best parts of that is when he's bantering with the girl. That's why that show worked. When he was bantering with the girl. Or even when he's bantering with the clown guy. So Mackie's really good at that. But again, play your strengths of your actors. And then one of the biggest misnomers in this thing is Shira Haas. I don't know what they were thinking with that. They were on so much drugs when they hired her that I think they were hallucinating. Look at that 6-foot woman. She's going to be great. She's less than 5 foot, man. In fact, she waddles like a midget, like a little person. She is like, she comes up to below everybody's shoulder. And I'm supposed to buy that somebody isn't just picking her up and throwing her across the room? I started laughing at some points of it. Again, it's something to do with her acting. She's done a bunch of stuff. But this was not the role for her. She is not an action star. She will never be an action star. And every review that I hear or read talks about the fact that she is miscast. She is miscast. There's no way she's a Black Widow. No way. So this is if you can skip it, skip it. In fact, there is no. I stayed around, and that was the other thing. There's no way this is a $180 million budget. They shot in like 8 different countries, man. Watch the credits. You'll see that they shot in 8 different countries. There's no way this was $180 million. With all the reshoots they did. No way. But and then they tried to if they were going to bring Liv Tyler in it, why didn't you have Liv Tyler in it? She's in one scene at the very end, and don't even bother waiting for a post credit. I did wait. There is no you have to wait all the way to the end, and it's a throwaway. There's nothing there. Don't even bother waiting. Just walk out. Because if you wait to the end, you'd be like, why did I just wait? And the leader is so bad in this. He's supposed to be the villain in this. Awful. Just awful. The makeup on him is awful. He looks more like a DC villain, like the Thinker or something to that effect. I forgot the guy's where you can see his brain more than he does. That's not what the leader looks like. The leader has a very long head. It doesn't look like that. They just put his brain on there and that's it. And it's a revenge story. That's all it is. It's a revenge story. Nobody has none of the characters here have any arcs at all. And the other problem with him being Captain America is that I'm not even going to say Captain America. Him being Captain Falcon Cap, or what do you want to call him? is the shield. He does not, and he references this many times during the film. He does not have the super soldier serum. He doesn't have it. So if he's catching this metal frisbee going at 70 miles an hour, I don't care what kind of vibranium suit thing he's got. Because even when the Hulk hits him, the vibranium vibrates. That kind of vibration would break every bone in his arm. And I can even illustrate this for something that happened to me personally. I was in a car accident. I had my foot on the brake, right? So I was screeching as this guy, cut in front of me, right? And since my foot was so far down and the impact sent a vibration through the car into the brake pedal, and that's what broke my ankle, was the vibration. So the vibration, even with any kind of vibranium thing, because that's the other thing, is I don't even buy that the suit has vibranium in it, because he has a knife stuck in him in one piece, and a hatchet stuck in him, and he blows it off. I don't know what's going on there, because obviously it went through the costume enough to stick in him. So, I mean, it was this deep in him. So it went through whatever it was. So the suit is not even made of vibranium. So every time he catches that thing, it breaks his arm. Every time. And then he should never have survived the ending with the Hulk. He should be dead 3 times over. It was just so bad. The movie is just bad. It just fails on so many levels. I'm sorry, nothing was coming out this week. People asked me to watch it and review it, and that's the only reason I went. If there was anything else playing, I would not have gone to see it. But unfortunately, I went to see it, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So if I'm going to rate it from a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to give it probably. It's not as bad as the Craven and all the other Fox movies. I'm even thinking it's better than the last Venom movie to some degree, but I'm going to give it probably. The acting elevates it. Even some of the action scenes. The best action scene is the one scene with the planes. That's it. Even the beginning action scene isn't very good. And Giancarlo Esposito is wasted. I don't even know why he's in there. They could have done just about anything and not had him in there. So I'm probably going to give this thing a 4. A 4 out of 10. I'll never watch it again. It's useless. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of Marvel shills out there that's going to love it. The Marvel Universe is back, baby! It's back! Well, I can tell you that on opening night, which was tonight, 6 people in the whole theater. 6 people. So, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be able to pass that even 6, much less 800 million, 100 million. It's going to fail. It's going to fail. No doubt. If it does hit $1 billion, then I will come back and do a video saying I can't believe it hit $1 billion. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Remember to give me a like, give me a subscribe. I'm sure that you guys will put comments in here about how much you love it. And I just didn't like it because of a racial thing. But again, Bucky's white. And he was only Captain America for a few issues in the comics, and that was it. And it didn't work for him. So Steve Rogers is Captain America. It's just the way it is. You can put anybody you want in there. You could put every white person in existence and say they're Captain America, and it's still going to be not Captain America. He's not Steve Rogers. The same thing with Falcon. This Danny Ramirez guy is the new Falcon. It felt wrong. Because Sam Wilson's Falcon. Exactly the same reason. You cannot just throw out names and say, okay, you're the new this. It doesn't work, man. Doesn't work. It doesn't work for Falcon either. Just doesn't work, man. All right. Also remember that we are fully funded with Green Hornet. So if you want to check that out, check out the link in the description below, or go to greenhornetnoir.com. Again, we have stories by Timothy Zahn, Kevin J. Anderson, Bill Willingham. It's just going to be an amazing, amazing hardcover book. Definitely jump in on that. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great week.